You know, in the super loud, hyped-up world of AI, a brand new, top-tier model just showed up in complete and total silence. So today we're going to unpack the mystery of DeepSeek V3.1.
I mean, just picture this for a second. One of the biggest names in AI is about to drop a major update. You're probably expecting a huge press event, right? A storm of social media posts, maybe a flashy announcement. Well, with DeepSeek V3.1, we got none of that. Nothing.
Exactly. This potentially game-changing model just appeared. No press release, not even a single tweet. It was just uploaded to Hugging Face, that open source hub where all the developers share their code and models. It just popped up for anyone to find. A really bold, super quiet move that immediately got the entire AI community buzzing. Okay, so what exactly is this model that arrived so quietly? Let's pop the hood and get into the specs that make it such a heavyweight contender. First off, a massive upgrade in its memory. The context window has literally doubled from 64,000 tokens all the way up to 128,000. Now, to put that into perspective for you, 128K tokens is kind of like feeding the AI an entire 250-page book and then expecting it to remember every single detail. That is a huge leap in capability. The next really big deal here is its new hybrid architecture. See, before, you had to manually choose between a quick, simple response mode and a much more powerful deep think mode. Well, now, the model does it for you. It automatically decides how much brain power to use based on your prompt. It's a really smart move toward efficiency that we're starting to see in other top models, making it faster and smarter on the fly. And if we dive into the nitty-gritty details, we see it's a really powerful 68.5 billion parameter model. And crucially, it's open source, which is an absolute game changer for developers. But the real headline here, the cost. It's reportedly 60 times cheaper to run than a competitor like Claude Opus. So you've got powerful, open source, and incredibly cheap. That is a killer combination. So a model can look amazing on paper, but how does it actually perform when you give it a real task? This is where the story gets really fascinating, because we get to see what happens when we pit those impressive benchmark scores against a real-world coding challenge. Now, according to SVG Bench, which is a test that measures how well an AI can generate graphics, DeepSeek V3.1 is an absolute beast. I mean, look at this. It outperforms major competitors like Gemini 1.5 Flash. So, based on this chart alone, you'd be betting on it to be a world-class performer, right? But here's the real question. Do those numbers actually translate to real ability? A high test score is one thing, but can it deliver when the rubber meets the road? Well, to find out, a simple but really revealing challenge was put to the test. Okay, so here's the setup. 3 of the top AI models, DeepSeek V3.1, Claude Opus, and Gemini, were all given the exact same prompt. Build a functional game of Space Invaders using HTML. The goal was super simple. Produce code that actually results in a game you can play. And here is the shocker. Despite those incredible benchmark scores, DeepSeek V3.1 failed. It produced code, yeah, but the game was completely broken. No enemies ever appeared on the screen. For all its power on paper, our top contender just stumbled right out of the gate.
So who won? Gemini. It was the only model that successfully completed the task, creating a fully functional game, complete with sound effects. A clear victory, and honestly, a powerful reminder that real-world application is the ultimate test.
Now, this one test tells a pretty fascinating story, but the release itself points to something much bigger that's happening in the industry. So let's zoom out for a second and look at that bigger picture. DeepSeek isn't some lone wolf here. It's part of a really powerful and growing movement of open source AI. You've got companies like Mistral and even major players like Google with Gemma, who are all contributing to a world where the most advanced AI tools aren't locked away, but are out there for everyone to use and build on. This is a massive trend. And this right here gets to the heart of DeepSeek's really unique culture. As one analyst put it, they don't make a big fuss. It's just so chill. While all their competitors are screaming from the rooftops, DeepSeek just puts the technology out there and lets it speak for itself. It's a kind of quiet confidence that's pretty rare in this industry. Ultimately, the story of DeepSeek V3.1 really shines a light on a critical gap in AI today, the gap between those benchmark scores and actual real-world results. A model can ace every single test in the book, but still completely fail a practical, creative challenge. And that leaves us with a fascinating thought. DeepSeek V3.1 is showing us a different path forward, one where technology is built openly, it's released quietly, and it's improved collaboratively. So the question is, could this be the future of how AI gets developed? Powerful,
open, and quiet.